I'm gonna go ahead and mute you guys. We're gonna do some hip stuff today. So we're gonna start on your back, and I'm gonna give you the option to start in an unsupported Supta Baddha Konasana. So I guess you guys can see me. So you can bring soles of the feet together, knees wide, lay all the way back, and use no props. Or if you have blocks, I personally like to take my blocks under my knees. And for me, I don't always love to start in this position. So if you get there and you think, that's not for me today, just find a comfortable position on your back. It's just a nice passive way to let the hips start to open up a little bit. Just make sure wherever you land, you feel supported, that you don't feel any effort or strain. Arms can be wherever is comfortable, maybe by the sides with the palms spinning up, or maybe it feels nice to have the hands resting on the belly, just so you can start to use the hands to feel your breath in your body. Just feel that nice rise and fall, ebb and flow with each round of breath. Just breathing in and out through the nose, starting to cultivate an easy, smooth breath. No strain, no forcing, just letting the breath start to find its rhythm that feels really comfortable for you. Just take a couple more breaths with your legs in this shape. And then maybe use the hands to draw the knees towards each other. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Let the knees point up to the ceiling. And just take several breaths there. Maybe bringing attention to the hips, to the spine. If you're having the knees out wide. And then just hug your right knee in towards your chest. So you can have the hands behind that right thigh, around the shin. Just maybe start to take some circles with the right foot and ankle. And if you're circling, taking that the opposite direction. And then just flex the right foot, and then you decide. You can keep the right knee right where it is, hugged in towards the chest, or take your right leg into a half happy baby. So maybe you're reaching for the outer edge of the right foot, or the back of the right knee, just hugging that knee in towards the armpit. And then take your right ankle and cross it over your left thigh, just above the left knee. Keep your left foot on the floor. So you're in thread the needle legs, but you're not going to hug that left thigh in today. And then just start to gently take your knees side to side. You're just kind of rocking on the back of the pelvis here. Just take a couple breaths with that gentle rocking of the knees. And then just come to stillness, uncross the right ankle, take the sole of the right foot flat to the mat so you're in bridge with your legs. And then hug your left thigh in towards your chest. And start to circle that left foot and ankle. And then take those circles the opposite way. And then just flex the left foot. You can hold that knee towards the chest or take your left leg into happy baby. I know first thing, this isn't for everybody, so don't feel like you have to do it. And then cross the left ankle over the right thigh, just above the knee, keeping the right foot down, and then gently just take the knees again, side to side. It's not going to be a very big movement, just rocking of the pelvis here. Maybe just noticing that subtle twist in the torso as you take the knees side to side. And then just bring the knees to stillness and unwind that. Just hug the knees in towards the chest. So both knees are hugged towards the chest. And then make your way up to seated. So you can rock up and down along the length of the spine, or maybe roll off to the side. Coming to Sukhasana, a comfortable cross-legged position. And reach the arms up by the ears. Take the fingertips in front of you. Maybe you just stay upright here. Maybe you gently walk the hands forward. You can stay on the palms of the hands, or maybe you bend the elbows and bring the forearms down. But it's early, so just be soft and gentle. It might not be your deepest fold. And then just gently walk your hands to the right. It doesn't have to be very big. Just getting that nice stretch in the left side of the body. And then walk the hands back to center and back towards the shins. So you can just lift the torso back up so you're upright. Reach the arms by the ears. Take the left palm down and take a side bend. And then come back upright. Reach both arms up. Just lower the arms down and change the cross of the leg. So opposite shin in front. Reach the arms up by the ears. Take the fingertips down, and then you decide if you stay up or maybe walk it forward. Just noticing how the side probably feels different. And then walk your hands over to the left. And then walk the hands back to center and back towards the legs so you can come back upright. Reach the arms up and take your right hand down to the side bend. And then come back upright, reach both arms by the ears, lower the arms down, and make your way into tabletop. We'll just take some cat-cow here together. So inhale, lengthen the chest forward. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl and round. And then come to a neutral spine. This is going to be hard to see, so just listen. Take the top of your right foot and rest it in your left arch. So your left foot is cradling the top of your right foot here. And maybe you stay in the upper body tabletop, or maybe you walk your hands back towards your knees. You can keep the hands down to keep a little weight out of the feet. Or you can come to sitting on the heels and take your torso upright. But be really honest about how that feels. If it's too much, hands come down. Maybe you wiggle the right toes a little bit. I feel like that gives me a nice little massage in the arch of my left foot. You know, it's kind of a weird one. Now, I didn't do weird things virtually for so long because it's just hard to see, but here we are 4 months in. I figured we might as well just do everything. All right, and then come back to tabletop. Just unwind the feet so you're back in regular tabletop and tap the tops of the feet. And then change sides, see the top of the left foot in the right arch. So the right foot's cradling the left foot. You can stay in tabletop, walk the hands back, or you can stay in hands, or you can be sitting on the heels. This one is always more intense for me, so maybe you notice one side feels really different. Maybe you wiggle the left toe. See if you can find a soft breath here. And then come back to tabletop, unwind that, tap the tops of the feet. And then come into a child's pose, take your hips back. And then come back into tabletop, tuck your toes under. Maybe you stay in tabletop with the toes tucked, or if you want, you can take hips back to heels. You're in child's pose with the toes tucked. And if you're in child's pose, back into tabletop, untuck the toes, tap the tops of the feet. And then tuck your toes under, lift your hips, come into your first downward facing dog. Just do whatever you like. But just walk your hands back to your feet, forward fold at the back of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. And then just take the hands behind you. You can take a clasp here, or maybe just reach for opposite forearms. Just a couple breaths here. Just try to gently draw the shoulder blades towards each other, but then soften the neck. And then take a bend in your knees. Keep that bend. Take an inhale, lift the chest, draw the belly towards the spine. And exhale, start to come forward into a forward fold. Just keep the knees bent. Let the chest drape over the thighs. And if having that clasp isn't for you, release hands to the mat. It can be pretty intense. Take a couple of breaths here. And if you have the clasp, release the hands to the mat. And then walk your hands forward, downward facing dog. Now walk your feet forward to your hands, forward fold at the front of the mat this time. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, right foot back for a lunge, right knee down to the mat. We're gonna stay here for several breaths. So your hands can be on blocks or the mat. Just think of lengthening your chest forward and just smiling the collarbones. So your spine is nice and long, good. And then if you want, arms can come up by the ears. Your choice, they can be down or up. Oh my God, the dog just did down dog. That was really cute. All right, take your hands down to the mat. Plant your hands and step back to downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up and back. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, straighten the legs, square off the hip. Exhale, bring the foot between the hands, drop the back knee down. Inhale, arms up by the ears just for that breath. Exhale, frame the foot, bring your back foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. And exhale, fold right back forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, left foot back for a lunge. Left knee down to the mat. Again, holding here to lengthen the chest forward. Nice soft breath. And then if you want, arms up by the ears. Take the hands down, frame the front foot, and step to downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up and back. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, straighten the legs, square off the hip. Exhale, foot between the hands, back knee down. Inhale, arms up by the ears. Exhale, frame the foot, bring your back foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, fold right back forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, right foot back for a lunge, right knee down to the mat, and then straighten your left leg for a half split. So this will come back over the right knee. I personally like to have blocks under my hands here because this one can feel extreme, but hands can be on the mat if that's for you. So if you feel like you're really struggling to keep yourself up with your arms, walk your hands forward and take your hips forward so they're stacked over your knees so you have that support. And then if you need a bend in your left knee, you can do that. And take a couple soft breaths. And then rebend your left knee so you're back in your low lunge. You may have to walk your blocks forward just a little bit so they're under your shoulders. You can stay here. If you want, pull your right heel towards your butt. Reach your left arm forward. Make a big half circle and reach the left hand to the top of the right foot. You might not be able to find it. So if it's not for you, take the foot back down because you're going to get a cramp probably otherwise. So just pull here. Oh, this is interesting. I didn't do this yesterday morning. So every day our bodies are different. And then nice and easy, release that foot. If you have blocks, take them to the side. Plant the hands and step back to the plank. Drop your knees down to the mat. Lower all the way down to the belly and take the arms straight by the sides with your palms spinning down. On an inhale, lift just head and shoulders, so palms of the hands and tops of the feet press down. And exhale, lower down. 2 more like that. Inhale, lift head and shoulders. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower, bend the elbows, bring the hands by the low ribs. Take cobra or up dog, your choice. And downward facing dog. You have 5 breaths here. Maybe you're in table, maybe you're in child's pose. Your choice. Inhale your right leg up and back. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, straighten the legs, square off the hip. Exhale, foot between the hands, stay on the ball of the back foot. Inhale for crescent, arms by the ears, just for the breath. Exhale, hands come down, back foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, fold right back forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, left foot back for a lunge. Left knee down to the mat. And then straighten the right leg. Take the hips back over the left knee for your half split. Blocks under the shoulders. I like to think of lengthening my chest forward and my tail going back a little bit. That gives me a little different sensation in the back of the right leg. I mean, I'm feeling my back leg, or my front leg, sorry. Sometimes those subtle nuances can change the pose. And then rebend the right knee. You may have to walk your hands forward a little bit. And again, you decide, you could be here or pull the left heel towards the butt. Reach the right arm forward. Big half circle to reach for the top of that foot. then just notice if it feels like it's too much for you, that foot can come down. That side is not working for me today, so I'm going to stay in the low lunge. If you have the foot, slowly release it. Take your blocks to the side and step back to downward facing dog. I forgot locust, so we're going to come forward into plank. I know you were sad. You were like, where's locust? Lower all the way down to your belly. Take your arms back by the sides, spin the palms down. This time on your inhale, lift everything up. Head, shoulders, arms, and legs. Exhale, lower it down. 2 more like that. Inhale, lift everything up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. And exhale, down. Take your hands by your low ribs, cobra or up dog. And downward facing dog. I honestly can't believe I don't forget more than I do because my brain has felt like mush recently. I know I'm not alone in that. I've talked to a lot of people who feel the same way. Inhale, take your left leg up and back. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, straighten the legs, square off the hip. Exhale, bring the foot between the hands for a lunge. Inhale, crescent, reach your arms up by your ears. Exhale, frame the foot, bring your back foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just take some smooth breaths here. I love it. All of your pets are really active today. Right leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands, spin the back heel down, and come up to warrior two. Just bring your arms to a T to start. And then take your left arm over your right arm, so you're giving yourself a hug. You can stay right there, or maybe backs of the hands come together, or maybe palms come together for eagle arms. I know for me, sometimes the torso feels weird when I take my arms in this position, so I think of spinning my torso to the front left corner of the mat. For me, that just feels best for my hips and my spine. You can kind of play with the direction of the torso. And then unwind the arms, take them to a T. Straighten your right leg, take your right arm up and back, reverse triangle just for a breath. And then back to warrior two. Right forearm to thigh, left arm up by the ear, just to get yourself set. And then take your left palm to your low back. Or maybe reach that left hand for the right hip crease. It's up to you. And then reach that left arm up by the ear just for a moment. And then come back up to warrior two. Hands frame your front foot your way to down dog, vinyasa or skip it. Just take a couple breaths here. And then take your left leg off the mat. Bring the foot between the hands, spin the back heel down. Warrior two, arms come to a T. And then take your right arm over your left arm. So just start with the hug. And then bring backs of hands together if you want, or palms together if you want. And then unwind the arms, take them to a T. Straighten the left leg, the left arm up and back, reverse triangle for a breath. And then back to warrior two, bend your left knee, take your left forearm to your thigh and your right arm up by your ear. And then if you want, right palm comes to low back, or maybe right hand reaches for left hip crease. And then reach that right arm back up by the ear. Come back up to warrior two. Hands frame your front foot, your way to downward facing dog. Just check in, see how you're feeling, check in with your breath. And then walk your hands and your feet towards each other, forward fold at the center of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale all the way up to standing. Then exhale, hands to the heart. And then just turn to face the long edge of your mat. Some of you it's going to be right, some of you it's going to be left, just so you can best see me. And I know some of you it's going to be hard based on how you're positioned. But take your feet out wide and parallel and your hands to your hips. Take an inhale, lift the chest and the belly. On the exhale, start to tilt the top of the pelvis forward. As you come forward, let your hands just rest under your shoulders. So we're not going for a super deep forward fold. In fact, once your hands are there, lengthen your chest forward. So your torso is parallel to the mat. You can have a bend in the knees here if you need to, or hands can be on blocks. And then spin the heels in towards each other and the toes out, kind of like you're a dancer. And then take a little bend in your right knee, keep the left knee straight. So those right knees are tracking over the toes. And then straighten the right knee and bend the left knee. So you're just gonna start to kind of alternate side here at your own pace, bending one leg, straightening the other. Just noticing how that feels. You can take a small bend or a deeper bend, whatever feels good in your body. And the next time the right knee is bent, hold it there. You may want to walk your hands to the right a little bit so you can plant your left hand under the center of your chest and take your right forearm to your inner right thigh. So you can use that forearm just to gently press on that thigh. And if you don't like that, both hands can be down. Be really soft here, don't try and force anything. Just like a tiny little bit of resistance. And then both hands to the mat, straighten that leg, walk your hands to the left, bend your left knee. Lay the right palm under the center of the chest and take the left forearm to the left inner thigh. And then just let go of that. Walk your hands back to center, straighten both legs and spin your feet parallel. It's going to be different for everybody, but just walk your hands towards the front of your mat to frame your front foot for a lunge, and then step to downward facing dog. So you're back in your regular orientation in down dog. And then just drop the knees to the mat, come into child's pose. Take a couple breaths. Nice and easy. And then just stay in child's pose for a second. We're going to come into pigeon. And those of you that take my class a lot, we rarely do pigeon. So if you know this pose isn't for you, you can make your way to your back and do thread the needle like we did in the beginning. I'll show it to you in a second after I take everyone else into pigeon. So come back to downward facing dog. And then take your right leg up and back. Bend that knee and bring the right knee towards your right elbow. And then come onto the outer edge of your right leg. Untuck the left toes from the top of that left foot. So we're gonna stay upright here to start. So I like fingertips personally. It feels nice to kind of elevate the chest. Or you can be on the palms of the hands. If that's not for you, you're on your back, right ankle over left thigh, thread the needle. So make sure you have no knee pain here. Just a lot of external hip rotation in this front hip. So if it's uncomfortable, feel free to come to something else. You have 2 more breaths here upright. And then you decide, maybe you're here, or maybe you start to walk it forward, maybe coming onto the forearms. See if you can find a soft breath. And then slowly walk the hands back and lift the chest. So the torso is back upright. You can stay here. If you want, the left heel is going to come to the butt like we did in the low lunge. I don't know if it's going to happen in my body today. Right arm can come forward and you can reach for the top of that foot. To me, that's a lot. It's not for me. I see a face from some of you. It's not for you. There's a lot happening in this pose, but I don't really teach it a lot because I don't know, it's a lot for a lot of bodies. My personal opinion. If you have the foot, slowly release it. Tuck your back toes, press into your hands, and take your right leg up and back. Maybe bend that knee, take some circles with that knee. And then lower that back to down dog. And just pause in down dog. Maybe notice the right hip and the left hip, how they're feeling. And then take your left leg up and back. Bend the knee, bring that knee to the left elbow, come to the outside of that left leg. Untuck the right toes, we're gonna stay upright here. So maybe fingertips or palms of hands. Notice when you're upright what you feel. It's different for everybody, but I feel more on the front of my right hip when I'm upright. It's kind of a nice stretch for those hip flexors. And then if you want, you can come forward and just notice what sensation changes. So for me, I feel more now in my left hip, outside of my left hip, but for you, it might feel different. And then walk the hands back so you can lift the torso. Again, you can stay here or maybe bend the right knee, pull that heel in, left arm forward, reach for the top of the foot. Do I see someone smiling in pigeon pose? Wow, that's pretty impressive. It was Michelle. She was smiling. Wow. I can't smile in pigeon. I'm smiling right now. All right, release that foot. Tuck the back toes, press into the hands, take that left leg up and back and take some circles. And drop that foot down to the mat. 3 breaths in down dog just to kind of recalibrate. And then bend the knees, come into child's pose. Just notice how child's pose feels, having both legs in the same position. Kind of an interesting observation after being in pigeon where one leg's forward and back and all that stuff is happening. So resting in child's pose, I don't know if I froze it on some of you guys. Okay, good, we're all there. And then just come up to tabletop and cross your shins so you can come back to seated. Take the legs straight out in front of you. Maybe just take a little shimmy of the legs. Shimmy's not the right word, but you know what I mean. You guys are all doing it. Bend the right knee, sole of the foot to the mat, the knees pointing up. And just take the hands around the shin. So you feel really compressed here. I feel when my foot's really closed, I feel down into my spine. So you can just take your foot forward a little bit to feel a little less compressed. And then reach the left arm up by the ear. Twist to the right so you can hug the right knee with the left arm or take a cactus arm on the outside of that thigh and then take your right fingertips behind you. You're twisting towards that bent leg, yeah. And then just unwind now. You can take the hands next to the hips and extend the right leg straight out. Bend the left knee, sole of the foot to the mat. Hands can go around the shin again. Foot towards you or away, just finding that place where you feel like you can sit up nice and tall. And then take the right arm by the ear and twist to the left. And then just unwind that. You can scoot your way to the front of your mat with your knees bent. Take the hands behind the knees and roll yourself back. So coming into bridge setup here with the legs, knees bent, arms by the side. But just take a couple breaths with the hips down before we come into bridge. And then bend your elbows so the upper arms are resting on the mat and the fingers are pointing up to the ceiling. So these robot arms, the best way to explain it, I guess. And then press into the feet and gently into the upper arms as you roll up into bridge, hips, low back, mid back. And as you press into the upper arms, can you soften your face and your neck? You're kind of taking the neck out of the equation, trying to use the muscles of the upper back. And that's hard, if you're not used to it. I find it to be hard. And then roll everything down, let the arms straighten and relax. Just take a couple breaths with the hips down. And then one more time, bend the elbows, fingertips pointing up, press into the feet and the upper arms, lift up into bridge. See if once you're up, you can gently press into the upper arms, soften the neck. Feel like you can feel engagement around the shoulder blades. And then lower all the way down, straighten the arms, take a couple breaths. Keep the knees bent, walk the feet wider than the hips, and just let the knees knock in towards each other. Maybe the arms go out to a T shape. And just relax here. Just gently draw the knees away from each other and then drop them over to the right. And then through center over to the left. Just taking this windshield wiper action of the knees side to side. Then bring the knees back up to center and hug them towards the chest. Just hold there in that tiny little ball. And then just release the legs and come into your Shavasana, wherever you'd like to be for the rest of class. You have a wall, maybe you take legs up the wall, or a couch, you take the calves on the couch if you'd like. Before you completely drop in here, just notice how you feel after your practice. Maybe you're feeling tired today, or maybe you feel energized, or maybe you feel calm. Start to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers, toes, circle your ankles and wrists. Reach the arms by the ears, nice big stretch. And then roll off to your favorite side, pause there, eyes closed. This quote might throw you off a little bit, but it's okay to not be productive right now. You know, that's very against what our culture tells us all the time, that we have to be productive. And I know for me, the past several months have been a lesson in being able to be a little more still. You know, we have commitments and some of us still have work and family, but I encourage you to find some time to not be productive and see how it feels. Press into your top hand, make your way up to a comfortable seat, eyes closed, hands at the heart. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste.